We are back after a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great holidays, even though by the time you see this video, it'll be 2 weeks in and we'll be getting ready for Christmas. Episode 86. We are back. Hope
Happy Thanksgiving.
probably spent some money I shouldn't have spent, but we'll see.
We didn't see
Betting
the
on.
crypto pop that we had expected because friends and family were telling their families about crypto.
Oh yeah, so this is how you like maybe the top is it. My parents were asking about Bitcoin and what is it? That's always a worrying sign when that happens.
This late though.
Huh?
This late,
Yeah,
huh? Your
this
parents are
late.
late to the game.
Yeah, I know. I was like, all right, you guys just don't even worry about it at this point. It doesn't mean anything for you.
I
It's,
wonder if are they hearing about it from like their, I don't know, their retirement advisors or
no, it's more of,
making the news.
yeah, this my uncle was interested in learning more about it because people are talking about, I guess they're in Thailand right now. And so I guess mining is a news topic right now about a lot of people trying to mine Bitcoin. And so they were like, what is Bitcoin? What are they actually mining? And
Yeah.
so I think that is just,
I got
it's great.
this I got this interesting ad.
Hmm.
It's the first time I've seen this. It's probably been out for a while, but it's the first time I've seen it. But it was for this hardware device that just constantly mines throughout the day.
Oh yeah.
And it has a very low probability of
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
hitting on Bitcoin.
I've recently seen that too.
Yeah.
What is it called? It's like the luck miner,
Mhm.
something, right?
But if it hits, then it's like your
Yeah, it's like
lottery ticket.
you get a full Bitcoin.
Yeah. So it's super interesting because that makes sense logically. It's like this,
Mm,
they say the whole marketing is it's only $1.37 to
yeah,
run every like
yeah,
month or something.
yeah,
So it's a perpetual lottery ticket because if it hits, then you'll
yeah,
get 3 Bitcoin or something like
yeah.
that.
Yes, exactly.
So that's super interesting.
Yeah, I almost bought one.
Yeah.
But it was like $100. And then Googled and looked a bit about it, and yeah, it's just these guys reselling. If you go to AliExpress, it's like $15.
That's funny. It's probably just marketing, and these guys will make a lot of money
Yeah,
selling all these units,
yeah,
but it's probably like a very like a 0.0000001% that you're actually gonna hit.
yeah. It literally is a lottery because if you look at it, the hash rate on it is super small. Like the hash rate is
Yeah.
ridiculous. I could run the program on my computer and it'd be the same thing. It's just
Good idea though.
it's a cool little desk thing, I guess, if you thought about it that way.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
But if you do buy it, it's like literally it's only like $15 on AliExpress. Don't fall for the marketing.
Yeah, no one's been asking me about crypto, but
Mm.
right now crypto is just dropped and hovering at that support line.
Yeah, I was just looking. It's under 90K again. So that's not a good sign.
All right, what else are we talking about today, Tony? Episode 86.
Yeah, actually a lot of things, but let's keep it to the most recent one. The biggest one, and probably that affects everybody, is that Netflix is going to acquire Warner Bros. $89 billion, which is an insane number. We'll talk about that. Apple is bleeding execs. A lot of execs. It's interesting. But this one in particular is going to talk a little about that one. And then, yeah, a little bit about stock chop. A lot of things happening on that side. Metaverse is out. We'll chat about that.
Yeah, the Netflix news I saw, and then when I actually saw what Netflix is going to get with this acquisition, I was like, wow, this is a big
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
because it directly puts them in competition with really Disney is, I would say, the second in terms of streaming wars,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it puts them in direct competition with Disney. So yes, Netflix has announced they're going to acquire Warner Brothers Studios for 82 million
Oh, 82.
total,
Okay. So I was a little bit off.
but the equity value is more around 72 billion.
Mm.
With this acquisition, which is not going to complete, by the way, until the Q3 of 2026. So we still have about a year, and it's all pending antitrust FTC scrutiny, whether or not they'll allow it to happen. But with this acquisition, they get Friends, they will get Harry Potter, they get the DC universe, which is the opposite of Marvel. So that's a direct competition. They'll get Game of Thrones, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Big Bang Theory, Looney Tunes, The Lord of the Rings
Yep.
licensing, Mortal Kombat, Scooby Doo, Tom and Jerry, and many other IP to these really big and popular names
Mhm.
in the entertainment world.
Yeah.
This is, if you didn't know, Warner Brothers also owns Discovery, and they were already set to split into two different business entities. So that's part of the reason why it won't happen until Q3 of next year, is because it has to happen after the split. Netflix is not getting the Discovery network, which is like Discovery Channel and other networks, but they are getting the Warner Brothers side, which I know I mentioned like the Game of Thrones name and etc. includes HBO, HBO Max. Anything that
Yeah.
you see on HBO,
Mhm.
HBO Max will now
Yep.
be owned by Netflix.
Yep.
Huge. I think it's a huge deal and makes me happy that I started DC this last month on Netflix.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just it's a huge content intake. So we'll see how it goes. I think that Netflix at one point had a lot of Marvel series, right? Daredevil,
Daredevil, yeah.
Punisher, um, was it Jessica Jones?
I think Jessica
Was it
Jones,
Jessica Jones?
but the
Yeah.
point is, yeah, they
No,
did
the
have
the
Marvel
original one,
content.
yes. Yeah, so they actually did it really well. Daredevil was doing so well that they're turning some of it to a movie. But anyways, so the point being is like now that they have DC, maybe that gives it a little bit of a revival.
It'll make it better because
Or turn it,
DC
yeah.
DC's have typically been flops.
Yeah. So especially from a serialized perspective, maybe Netflix will be able to do something. Not maybe, they will attempt to do something around that. Game of Thrones, yeah, just a lot of the HBO series, right?
Dune, I think they got the licensing rights to Dune 3.
We'll see. I'll be interested to see how the FTC handles it because Disney is already huge, right? And
Mhm.
so in order for Netflix to compete with Disney, like it makes sense that they want to make this acquisition.
Yeah, and I
So we'll
think if
see.
you think why I think the FTC will allow it will definitely be no problems. Disney is just as big with this merger or this
Hmm.
acquisition. Disney is already that big, right? So yes, that's actually improving the competitive nature of the market.
Yep.
But then you also have other studios still that are out, the smaller guys. Comcast is not really a studio, but they have stuff. Paramount is a studio, but on a very smaller scale. So you don't have, it's not just Netflix and Disney. You do have other
Yep.
competitors out
Yep.
there that are
Yep.
just not as big.
But we'll see. It'll most likely just come down to how much Netflix gives the administration.
Yeah. The other thing that came out of this is on the contrarian side of why this is not good is there was a lot of concern around how it's going to affect theaters and Hollywood. But Netflix has publicly stated that they still plan to run a lot of theatrical Warner Brothers
Yep.
releases the same fashion, meaning releasing to theaters. Netflix has released some things to theaters, like K-pop Demon Hunter Sing Along, and
Yep.
they're doing another one with Knives Out, I think, in
Yep.
the next couple months here.
Yep.
So they know how to do it, but we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. So it was hovering around this $100 level. It spiked. It took it below 100, and then it was above 100. Now it's kind of flatlined at about 100. So I think the market is still trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to think about this. I was hoping it would get to 80, that the market would decide this is very bad and pick up a few more shares, but it didn't. So I'm actually a little bit down,
Yeah, I think
surprisingly.
we both in the past have said probably 100 or what used to be 1000
Yeah.
is like a strong support level. And so any DCA around this area I think is good. And again, we're not financial advisors, but this is what we are doing.
Yeah.
And for your entertainment, we want to share that.
Yeah.
Anything around 100 area, I think for me is a good place to DCA. I've been actually moving my TTD that's down, my big position of TD that's down into Netflix.
Where's TTD?
However, I don't know if you saw, Kathy Woods has been loading up on TTD this week.
I mean, it's up like it's not trading at that bottom that we've been talking about.
No, it's been accumulating at that bottom for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, looks like it's finally back over 40.
So
The
I've
time to
been
sell it is when it goes 100%, right?
yeah, as Netflix
Yeah.
came down, I rolled some of that into Netflix because I have confidence.
Still, it's a steep price though. 82 billion. That's not a small amount. How much is Netflix worth? What is Netflix's market cap? You know?
Oh, I thought you were looking up.
Oh yeah. Okay, 424 billion market cap. So they're paying 25%, well, a little under entire market.
I think it is just for some of those names that are on there. I'm sure Game of Thrones has generated a ton of money.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
as one example.
They've got a lot of franchises to work
Yeah.
with, so that's what Netflix needs. A lot of franchises.
Yeah. All right. That was interesting Netflix news. I'm glad we got to talk about it because we don't really talk about Netflix much.
Yeah.
But it's been on our radar. It's good news for, at least I think it's good news. Let's move on to the next one. Apple losing execs. This week, there was news that one of Apple's execs, a VP of user interface for the last decade, is leaving to join Meta
Yeah.
and head up a new reality labs studio at Meta, focused around, given his background, design. I think what Mark Zuckerberg said is, let me find it here. This studio is going to bring together design, fashion,
Yeah.
and technology to define the next generation of our products and experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw this guy's post on LinkedIn. Apparently, he led the upgrade to their glass design language. Comments were pretty brutal. I was kind of like surprised. It's like, where is all this anger coming from?
Wow. What were they saying?
Things like, yeah, I'm not sure you want to call out that you brought glass to Apple, or yeah, it was just like, yeah, it was a lot of just angry, not positive comments. So it makes me really curious about how great this really is. But yeah, no, I guess it's a big move, right? Because it's just another high level exec leaving Apple, and this one particularly going to Meta, which I think Meta feels like they're poaching a lot from Apple. So it's on the one hand, comments suggest, well, Meta's must he was because he's been at Apple for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so some comments were like, if you've been there at 20 years, but you're excited to go to Meta, maybe you're just looking for a place to chill out. Kind of
Rest
like
and
that.
best.
Yeah, like that mentality. So we'll see. Meta has found like a product market fit, as we call it, for their wearables. And this is probably a step.
And they need a strong like user interface leader to really.
Yeah. So you tell me, right? Meta Quest is part of that. But yeah, if you think about it, Mark has complained quite often about how he's been pigeonholed by the app stores and stuff, and they've made attempts at trying to break out of that to create their own ecosystem, their own platform ecosystem. And so it didn't work well when they tried the Meta phone or Facebook phone. But since they have something with their wearables,
Yeah.
he's probably looking at it as a way to try and break through this time.
That's right on because Apple has nothing in wearables really. They have the Vision Pro, but it's a flop for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think because, yes, like you said, they found product market fit with their wearable products, Meta needs that strong leader to basically build the platform UIs for consumers to use and hook them in even more.
Yeah.
You did make a comment about the App Store though. And the problem with app stores, and this is also going back to my background at BlackBerry. I worked at BlackBerry for 5 years in the glory days and saw its fall due to the iPhone being released.
I still
But
think of crackberry.com as like
Yeah.
the website to go to for all things BlackBerry.
yeah,
Anyways,
the problem with the only way to break through in App Store is to have a good developer platform. And that's the problem that we had at BlackBerry is trying to compete with the developer. No one wanted to develop on BlackBerry because it was just so hard.
Yeah.
So that's why Apple won there. And then Android came out and it's super easy to code in Java and use Android's SDKs. And really that is one fault of the BlackBerry is they just didn't have a good developer platform. So this doesn't really solve that. Maybe Meta already has something to essentially get their own app store to thrive. There's some pretty good apps already in MetaQuest's platform and App Store.
Yeah.
But it's still missing the things I want.
And I guess, so when I say wearables, I guess I also mean if you think about phones going away and what does that turn into, I guess that's what I think
Yeah,
is like maybe the glasses become the next phone. They
yeah.
ever can shrink it enough for battery life, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm thinking. It's like the next,
Hmm.
the transition from if we stop using our phones into something else. That's probably where they're looking towards.
So you think Alan Dye is was tapped to lead that?
As far from the UX perspective. And he did mention fashion, so it feels like they might attempt to do something with Beyond. And yeah, they've done that with the Gen 2 Ray-Bans.
Maybe that's where his glass UI experience come to play. In the future, perhaps there's these thoughts, right, where everything is made of glass. Maybe like glasses don't even have frames, right? And that's where a glass UI design pattern would actually come in handy.
We'll see. Like
We'll
the
see.
Expanse, like the Expanse. Have you watched the Expanse TV series?
Oh no, I've seen it though. I haven't watched it.
Seriously, it is like the
This is what we didn't talk
series.
about during the Netflix story is yes, awesome acquisition, but there's so much content on Netflix already and other platforms. It's hard
Yeah,
to watch
yeah.
everything.
Yeah. The Expanse is on Prime. If you have it, you should add it to your list because it is just space sci-fi opera.
Wait, is that the one with what's her name? Who's the lead actor in there?
They are no-name actors,
Okay.
but yeah, it was originally on the Sci-Fi Channel until the Sci-Fi decided they didn't want to do sci-fi, um, and then Bezos rescued it for its couple final seasons due to. So actually, it was a great move. It was like it has a huge fan base following, and Bezos, yeah, we'll pick it up because I like it.
All right. I
You
will
should
watch
watch
it.
it. Yeah, it's really good. But anyways, their communication device is basically a clear glass panel, which is
Hmm. There you go.
there you go.
To wrap up this one, along with Apple losing an exec to Meta, there was rumors that another exec has signaled to Tim Cook that he wants to leave, and that is Johnny Sruji, who is a senior VP of hardware technologies.
Oh, interesting. I didn't see
And
that one.
so I think he led some of their chip efforts related to the hardware, but the thought is that he goes to Meta as well. And so
Hmm.
that would complete your narrative here around the hardware focus because
Hmm.
he's a hardware guy, probably worked very closely with Alan Dye.
Hmm.
And if you were to leave, then yeah, that's another poach. This year, I noticed, didn't Tim Cook in the last earnings comment that he's preparing for retirement?
I don't remember him saying.
I remember something coming out around the earnings. Let me see here.
I haven't read anybody
Oh, it's a
mention it
leak.
either. I haven't seen that pop up anywhere as a confirmed thing.
Yeah. It came out 3 weeks ago. There's a bunch of news because there is succession planning going on and et cetera, et cetera. But then along with that rumor is that he wouldn't fully leave. He'd probably just stay on as chairman of the board or something.
Hmm.
All right. Let's move on to the last one here. Tony, you want to talk to us about Meta?
Yeah, so I
What's
guess
your
we
main
talked
Meta
about Meta
topic?
quite after this acquisition of talents from Apple. Zuckerberg also announced that they were cutting back on Metaverse spending by 30%. And so that made up 40, $50 when that news came out. So it's interesting. They brought this person, right, to lead the UX for their next evolution of wearables, etc. And I guess the metaverse is part of that. So there we go. Focusing on the real world now, apparently, which makes sense, right?
No.
The Ray-Bans are about interacting with the real world, and so they don't have a need for the amount of capex they need for Metaverse, which the market is cheering. If you don't remember, when Zuckerberg went all in, renamed the company after the Metaverse, it took the stock down to $90
That was during COVID.
during COVID. Yeah, but yeah, the Metaverse took it down all the way to $90. I remember that because I was like, I'm gonna buy this at $89, and then I never got in, and we shot up to $400. But yeah, so market liked it. We'll see. It's interesting they took down 30%, but you didn't remember reading anything about their AI capex.
Yeah.
Like meaning that they would transition some of that because he had talked about they're overspending for all this capex, and then if it doesn't pan out, then they can transition and reuse some of that for computing needs. And so that also makes me think of, are they cutting Metaverse capex because they're not expecting to use as much AI for AI, and they'll transition some of that to support what they need for reality.
Yeah.
That's how I was thinking about it when I read the news.
That was my initial reaction as well.
Yeah, bad for the AI trade, long term ish,
Mhm.
but good for Meta in general, just because they're going to spend less on cap.
Yeah. I remember that bold move that Mark Zuckerberg made during COVID, renaming to Meta missing legs. Remember in
Yeah,
the first demo, the missing
yeah,
legs and all
this
the avatars?
terrible demo.
But I think that's a testament to Zuck and just how bold he can be, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
You need to do bold things versus like Tim Cook, who's just been holding status quo for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's usually the difference for founder-led companies, not
Exactly.
the rare gem founder-led companies, right? Where the founder has a strong sense of what direction they want the company to take, and they're just able to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. Short NVIDIA.
Sure. DCA NVIDIA is my strategy every week.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's interesting news. I think I've went into the metaverse a few times and
Oh, that's right. You should be doing the Metaverse reviews.
it's all right. I think it could be better. But the biggest problem is that I don't have enough friends that use it. So
Uh,
whenever I go in there, it's just strangers and like weirdos.
yeah,
Like guys as dressed up as female avatars and,
yeah,
and other guys like running around their avatars. I'm like, come on. But yeah, no, it's a good move. I think like still bullish on Meta. It's a good buy in my opinion, and starting to become one of my bigger positions. I sold a good portion of it before it declined, which was a good move, and then I bought
Mhm.
again at around the 570, 580 area.
I should have. I should have. But I
Yeah,
was like, wasn't at my DCA point yet at that point. I think I was only down 10%. I need 15% for me to start DCAing.
interesting. So you look at like percentage drops to DCA.
Yeah,
Yeah, I look at price points, price targets to
yeah,
DCA. So it's interesting, different strategies.
yeah. Because I guess my entry was bad too. My initial position was bad, but yeah, generally I don't like to DCA if I'm only down 10%, because 10-15%, it's not a huge move for me. DCA is really trying to bring down my costs on that.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it's just like a typical like monthly or seasonal type move. It's just not. I've gotten trapped trying to DCA like 5%. Oh, I'm going to DCA, right? And then stuck in a position like my Rivian. I'm still down 70%. It's because I DCA'd too early.
But see, that is that really DCAing or is that just adding more to your portfolio? Because DCAing to me is like you're doing it recurringly. So if you look at a 12-month period and
Hmm.
you put in $10 a month for 12
Yeah,
months, end of the year, you get the average of the whole year.
yeah.
Whereas
But
it
see,
sounds
to
like
me,
to me, you're not DCA and you're like, you are waiting to put in more money at some point.
yeah, I've s- I know what your strategy is. That's not how I think of DCAing.
Okay.
Like my version of like how I see DCA is, yeah, it's like you're trying to bring down the cost. What you're doing, that's more of just like a recurring investment.
Yeah.
It's like the people who like buy Bitcoin every week, right? That's not really DCAing. It's just you're just making a recurring purchase. You know what I mean?
But there is an actual definition of DCA though.
Is it? All right, let's look.
Yeah. If you go to Investopedia, I just looked it up.
What is DCA?
DCA involves investing the same amount of money in a target security at regular intervals over a certain period, regardless of the price.
Yeah, okay. Then I use the Robinhood version of DCAing where I buy on when I think it's dipped a lot.
Yeah, you're just adding to your position,
Yeah, just
basically.
adding. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Glad I'm glad we made that mental connection. I was like, I talk about DCA and I think
yeah,
we're on the same page as it.
yeah.
Um, but okay, so Meta, yes, continuing to add there. I hope it gets to. like 550, 540,
Mm-hmm.
because then I loaded a lot more. But
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna get there at this point unless some
No.
black swan event happens.
Yeah. It's on its way back to 750 as
Yeah. Okay.
well.
All right. Juicy stories this week to start the week after Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is generally a slow week. Pretty much was.
Yep.
The Mars SPY is hovering at 685, which is a make or
Near
break
all-time
point,
highs.
I've heard.
Yep. It's near
So
all-time highs.
it's either going to go up or it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Everyone's waiting for something.
It's literally at all-time highs.
Do you think people are waiting for the rate cut decision?
I feel like we're gonna ramp into it, and then maybe it'll sell the news, or maybe that is when it goes. But yeah, we're only what 68.70 is where you closed on Friday. The all-time high is 69.20, so it's literally a day's pop could take us to all-time highs.
And then blow off top.
Maybe. We'll see, right? December, the Santa rally. It's okay. Does the rate cuts just send us to 7,000 at this point?
Yeah. As it was getting high, and then it dipped under 685 and was holding there. I bought some puts, but I had a tight stop loss because I didn't want it to lose a ton, a lot of money in it. You know, I like hit it in 2 hours.
The volatility is crazy.
Yeah. All right. Stay safe in the market, everyone. Episode 86 in the books. And we'll come back next week. Talk to you later.
Yeah.